Hi guys, I'm Cody Jay and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, as you can see from the lack of clothing, today's video is going to be completely different than anything I have done before. So I know Halloween is almost here and the month of October is almost over, and I have yet to do anything Halloween or spooky related whatsoever. Now, I follow a lot of people who are super talented with makeup and body painting and all that kind of different stuff, but I'm not the best at, designing and drawing and all that kind of really creative stuff that's like, not in my lane. But I thought, I might as well just try it and see what I can do. So if this ends up being disgusting and terrible, I'm gonna post it and you're gonna tell me it's beautiful anyway. And if it ends up being fantastic and amazing, I'm still gonna post it and you're really gonna tell me how amazing it is. So if you'd like to see what I come up with today, stick around. Okay guys, in this spooktacular Halloween video, I'm planning on doing something devilish. Now, I've seen a lot of people do the same type of thing, just different variations of it. I've seen the Joker, I've seen masks, I've seen the broken doll makeup, devils, everything. Like, everything's being done over and over and over, so I thought I would stick with something a little bit more basic to see if I can at least do that before I try to venture into something where I have like 18 actual eyeballs on my face and like prosthetics and all that good jazz. So, like I said in the intro, I'm going to do something kind of devilish, red, obviously, so I think I'm going to use my CC Beauty face paints. Now, this is a 12 color face paint set. It's oil based, so it's supposed to come off a lot easier. It says you can apply it with a brush, a sponge, your fingers. So I think I'm going to go in with a brush first to try and kind of see how well it applies, get some coverage and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. Now for this devil look, I don't know if I want to do kind of like a glam Satan, like lashes, really cool eyes and whatnot, or if I want to do like, hey, Satan's here, kind of like a sexy soldier look, So I guess that'll kind of be decided when I get towards the end of this video. But so to start off, I'm going to use the red face paint, and then I'll try to do my normal contour areas with like a lighter shade or like a pink and see how that kind of goes, and my contouring with like a darker red potentially. Like, that's kind of the plan. Like, in my head it makes a lot more sense, and in my head I feel like I know exactly what I'm going to do, and it's just going to be like this amazing Lucifer devil thing. But just because you think it's going to work out well doesn't mean it always does. So I could end up looking like Mr. Krabs in the end. But I guess at the end of the day, if I end up transforming into something other than this sexy beast, mission accomplished. Now, these little squares of paint are really, really small. So like if I take a brush, like it's really hard to like really get anything out. You can't scoop anything out. You kind of have to like, and that's annoying. So I don't know how well that's going to work or how long it's going to take, but I'm going to try my best. Well, it's red, so the coverage of it isn't too bad. I don't know if I'll need to do a second layer of it or not. I hope not, because I feel like this might take a long time, but it's going on nicely, I think. I might not need to. Now, I will say a little disclaimer that if this goes well, like I hope it will, like post-production in my photos, I'm probably going to have to like see if somebody can like Photoshop something for me, because I don't know how to do any Photoshop stuff, because I've tried to put contacts in many times for like other reasons, and I literally cannot get them into my eyes all like, so I just can't. I literally can't. So I'm gonna see if somebody can make my eyes like bigger and like completely blacked out, because I think that'll give it a really cool effect. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably take my earrings out, except for my bar, because that just got put in. But like my other earrings I'm probably going to take out because I need to do my ears and I don't want, red earrings. Okay guys, I'm back. I hope you're as shook as I am currently. So I went off camera to quickly do the rest of this because I was like, there's no way I can talk long enough while applying all this, because it took me like 45 freaking minutes. And I used literally like, I don't know if you can tell, like at least half of this red. But we got it done, took the earrings out, did the ears, did everything. I can't help but look at myself in the viewfinder. This is kind of disgustingly creepy. But so I think I'm gonna go in with some of my Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star. There are a lot of red shades, obviously, so I think I'm gonna set my face with some of these red shades because I'm looking pretty shiny, and of course I want it to stay. And then when the red's dry and everything, I'm gonna do some black in my hair, I think. That way it doesn't look, shitty. So we'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna get a big fluffy brush and dip into a red shade. Okay, so I'm going to take this brush that I don't care about ruining, and this was from my kids makeup challenge video, so I've never used it since then, so I don't care. But I think I'm going to dip into some prick down here in the bottom, and dip into that and just put it all over my face to hopefully set everything in place. Okay, the good thing about this red shade, which again is Prick, is that it's not changing the color of the red on my face, but it's definitely giving it more of a mattifying look, which is what I need, because I don't want my face to look oily, because Lucifer ain't oily. Okay, so how does that look so far? Is it better? I think it looks better. Now I think it's going to look shiny no matter what, just because of all the lights around me, and it is a oil-based paint, so it's not like it's going to be super, super dry, I'd imagine. But I think I did the best I can with what I know. All I'm saying is, like, wouldn't it be such a funny video to just go like this to Walmart and be like, excuse me, sir, where are the Bob Evans mashed potatoes? And just see what kind of like reaction I get. I think that'd be hilarious. And like side note, I'm absolutely so scared to take this off. Attempt to take this off later. I'm gonna go through all my makeup wipes, my makeup removers, I'm sure. And then I saw somewhere online it said if you use shaving cream and like let it soak, that it'll help get the stains off. But I'm just saying, I barely touch it on my hands a little bit and my hands are stained. So tomorrow's Sunday, which means I only have one day to like get back to normal. So if I have to go into work Monday and explain myself, I'm gonna be like, well, check out my YouTube video, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, in the areas I would normally put my concealer at to highlight my face, I'm going to go in with some of the white face paint down here at the bottom and see if it acts as kind of like a brightening effect. I mean, it's white, so it should, but I'm just afraid of what it's going to do with the red. You know, common sense would say that red and white would make pink. I don't want pink under eyes and forehead areas, you know, I just want it to be lighter, so I'm going to see what happens. Just going to brush it on like I normally would my concealer. And of course it turns pink right off the bat, which again is to be expected, but maybe it'll blend out nicely. Now before I go on to any other area of my face, I'm gonna try and blend that in and see what it does before I like ruin my whole face and then I have to like throw my camera out the window, you know? Okay, I'm not loving the way it looks with a brush, so let me just ruin one of my beauty sponges. So it's for sure pink, but I think we're just gonna roll with it and see what we get. And maybe this whole look is gonna turn out way differently than I thought, but it might still be cool in the end, you know? Okay, so not that pink was my ideal go-to shade at the moment. I kind of like the way it's looking so far. Like this is gonna end up being something different than Lucifer, I'm sure. Like I'm starting to get those like little cross-dressing devil vibes from the Powerpuff Girls, you know, the little like devil guy that like spins around and all that good shiz, you know, like the first cross-dresser you saw in like animation. Like that's what I'm getting right now, like where are my claws? Like I'm still getting the same effect, like the whole brightening effect. This is just, I don't know, different than I anticipated, but I'm trying. You can't say I'm not trying. I'm trying. I actually think I might like it more than if I would have done like actual white like I wanted to. I just think this is actually pretty cool. And I think I unintentionally am giving it like a little bit of a different spin than what I've seen online from y'all. Okay, so I think that's looking actually pretty great so far. It's definitely giving me some dimension. And when I deepen up, you know, around my cheekbones and all that good shiz, then maybe it'll look even better, but my fingers are stained and I'm not happy about it. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Light and bake a little bit under my eyes and see if it lightens it up and takes away a bit of the pink. If not, at least it'll be set in place, but whatever. I at least want it to just look a little bit more matte because then it'll blend in better, so yeah. That looks better. I don't know if you can tell. Like this side looks a lot more glistening and this side's definitely a lot more matte. Oh yeah, for sure. So that works out. So we'll go with that. This entire video, if you haven't realized yet, is going to be like just me winging it because this is not my thing, but I thought I would try to get outside of my comfort zone a little bit and do something different because that's how you grow. So yeah, I definitely mattified all the pink that's going on. It definitely doesn't look as wet, which is, I think, better than what it was 2 seconds ago. So we're going to go on from there. So next I'm going to do a little bit more contouring. I'm going to get a darker shade from my blood sugar palette from Jeffree Cosmetics and go in and try to chisel out my face a little bit, and maybe again that'll change the whole look even more. Okay, from the Morphe x Jeffree Cosmetics collection, I'm going to go in with the JS3 brush, and I'm going to take, I'm looking at probably fresh meat down here at the bottom, and I think we're going to use that to chisel out my face a little bit. If it's not dark enough, then I'll probably go in with Extraction or Coma. Let's just stamp it on where I normally would and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm not liking that. I don't think it's dark enough, so let's go in with a bit of Coma, which is the deepest purplish red that is in the Blood Sugar palette. Okay, that color is definitely much better. I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just stamp it a little bit to tone it down and blend it out a little bit more. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, so I decided to take a little bit of the black from the face paint and use that instead, just so there's not so much of a purple tone to it. So I'm just going to go around the perimeter of my face with the black, and then I'll blend it in with my sponge again. Okay, that definitely gave my face a little bit more structure, which I'm liking. So, okay, so it shifted from let's be a sexy Lucifer to let's be this custom, unique, I just came up with it, whatever it is kind of look. And I hope you like it. So now that my face has a little bit more structure, I'm going to go in along the side of my nose and try and carve it out a smidge with a little bit of black on this tiny little brush. And again, I'm just going to stamp it into place. And then I'm going to blend it out with my sponge. I wonder what Lucifer thinks when he's, you know, chilling down there in hell, sipping a margarita, watching some football, and he looks up and he sees all these people trying to beat him. Like, do you think he appreciates it, or do you think he's like, nah bitch, step off. Like, my territory. That's what I want to know. Okay, you know, 2.5 hours later, in real time, I think I'm going to move away from my face and do some deepening up of my facial hair and my brows. Obviously, I think I'm going to use jet black because that's the only thing that's going to really show up. So for brows, I'm just going to take another one of my little angled brushes. Now, all these brushes I'm using are just these like cheap brushes I got off of eBay for stuff like this. I'm not going to use all my nice ones and kind of potentially ruin them. I mean, I've only used like just that one Jeffree Star one, so it's a synthetic brush, so hopefully it doesn't hurt it. But I'm just going to go into the black face paint. I'm going to try and deepen up my brows. And to be honest, I hope these kinds of things really start making a difference with the entire look, because to be honest, I don't love it. I don't really even like it. Okay, that looks about good to me. Okay, I think those look pretty great. I think they're very devilish, if you ask me. So, that's good. Now onto facial hair. I want this to be jet black because it needs to pop, because if I'm gonna have facial hair, you gotta see it. So I think the best way of doing this is probably to take either a sponge or a brush. Probably a sponge. I think I'm going with the sponge. So I'm just gonna dip into that black shade, the face paint on the bottom of my beauty sponge, and see what we get. Okay, that worked out better than I thought it would. Because I still wanted to keep the red undertone on my skin, you know what I mean? But I wanted to darken up my beard. I didn't want it to just be jet black, straight black, looking like it was painted on. So this kind of works, because in person, there's still the texture there, and I want to work it right up into my actual hair. Wow, that actually worked out really well. I'm kind of shooketh. Before, after. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so the brows plus the facial hair completely changed this look, and do I still hate it? No. Is it what I had in my mind? No. But this is turning out to be something that I think I'm going to be okay with. Alright guys, now that I think the face is pretty much where it needs to be, I'm going to go with my Jeffree Star Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Ice Cold. This is hopefully going to be blinding on my beautiful luscious red skin. So I'm just going to go on with the fluffy little e.l.f. brush, and I'm just going to dip into that tap off some excess and just see what we get. Because even Satan likes to be blinding. Bam! Okay, before I move on to eyes, I just want to say that using a little Neutrogena makeup wipe, it took off the majority of the staining, so I have hope for my face. And I might do a video, like a real short video on Snapchat or on Instagram of me trying to take this off, because I think that'd be funny. Even the devil sneezes. That's staying in the video. So next up, let's go into eyes. Now I'm thinking I'm not going to do something crazy in depth and detail because I don't know how it's going to sit on this face paint, and my eyelids are really sticky from it still. So I think I'm just going to deepen it up, throw on some lashes, throw on some eyeliner, and see what we look like. Alright, so again, I'm going to go in with my blood sugar palette, and I think I'm going to deepen up my crease with a little bit of Coma and Extraction, and I'll probably mix in some fresh meat, and on my eyelid itself I'm probably going to dab into some of Candy Floss as well as Glucose, so we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to start off using a little bit of Coma, which is the dark purple shade, and first I'm just going to pack it on all over because my eyelid area is really wet still from the paint. It's not really drying, so I'm hoping that this will kind of set it a little bit before I really start putting the work in. Alright, so I think that's working out pretty well. I want my eyes to be pretty dark because I still want them to be kind of sultry, especially to have some contrast because my highlight is really pink and really light. So I really want it to be dark, and I don't want it to be super crisp and clean because y'all know Satan ain't clean. So I'm just gonna blend it out with a little bit of a lighter burgundy purple kind of shade. I'm really good with my shade names. Well, let's just blend with a little bit of purpley-ish, kind of lavender, red, kind of burgundy, like you get it, reds and purples. Okay, now that I have both eyelids done with the first shade Coma, I'm actually going to dip into a little bit of a black shade because I do need to deepen it a little bit more. So I think I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Cosmetics Alien palette, and I'm probably going to use shade Black Hole because how convenient. So I'm going to go in with that same fluffy brush, dip into Black Hole, and just pack it on. Yeah, that's better. So I'm just going to pack this all over the lid and bring it slightly up into that outer corner. And then just blend it up into Coma. Okay, once I have Black Hole into place, I'm going to dip back into a little bit of Coma again with a slightly smaller e.l.f. blending brush and just blend a little bit more of that onto the top to bring back a little bit of that purplish kind of black. Okay, now being that my skin is currently red and my eyes are currently black, there's not a lot of shades that I can really blend in to create some more contrast against the black unless I'm using like white. And even if I use something pink or red, it's going to blend right into my skin. So I think I'm just going to leave it with these dark eyes like this, and I'm just going to smoke out underneath my lash line. So with my Morphe M321 brush, I'm just going to dip into Black Hole, and I'm going to connect the outer corner down underneath my lash line. And then I am going to blend it out with a little bit of Tall Gray, which is also in the Alien palette, just to see if I can give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, so now that the black is in place, I'm going to take a little bit of Tall Gray and just ever so slightly smoke it out a smidge. Ooh, if that's not a thumbnail. Just kidding, but maybe not. Yeah, I definitely like how that's looking. And altogether, I'm liking this look even more. It's definitely not what I had in mind, but it's definitely pretty cool, I think, for my first little dabble into this kind of makeup world. And it's funny, at first I said, oh, I'm going to try to do something kind of simple, not overwhelming, and like to me this is overwhelming, so it is what it is. Okay, for my inner corner, instead of doing glucose and all that jazz like I said earlier, I think I'm just going to find something that's like a bright pink just to kind of tie in all the other highlighted areas. So I think I'm going to go in with something sparkly pink, which I think Candy Floss might still work. Now again, Candy Floss is the shade right here. Can you see it? Yeah, right there. So if that doesn't show up, I'll find something else, but let's just try. So we're gonna dip into it and see. Yeah, that works. I don't know if you can see, but it works. You think the devil makes people do bad things without having a pop in inner corner? Psh, you're wrong. Alright guys, we're getting close to the finish line. Hopefully this video isn't too long because I'm already at like literally 3 hours of recording, so I'm going to off camera throw on some lashes and eyeliner, and I'll be right back to throw on my black cat suit liquid lip. Okay guys, I'm back. Off camera, I threw on my Poni Cosmetics black mascara as well as my false lashes from Dulzura Cosmetics. I also finished this look off with a little bit of my Wet n Wild black liquid lip, which I don't really like this, but it's all I had. Altogether, I think this turned out pretty well. It's not what I had in my head, but I think altogether it's pretty cool. I like the brightening underneath my eyes, even though it came out kind of pinkish, but I think all the black from my facial hair, my lips, and my eyes and everything really gave it a nice contrast. I also only went to like right there. So that's all you're gonna get. Alright, one last thing is to throw on some of my Starberry scented Set and Refresh Mist. Even Satan likes a good setting spray. Okay, you guys, this is something that is very different for me. I think I did pretty well for my first try. This was completely like off the top of my head. I didn't have anything planned. I didn't practice anything. So all in all, I would say it looks pretty decent for my first attempt. I think now is a good time to jump into our video's MUA shoutout. Today's MUA shoutout goes to the incredibly talented @AshleyMalhalla5. I will leave all her social media links in the description box below, so make sure you go check her out and show her some love. Now, if you would like to be featured in an upcoming video, all you have to do is, of course, be subscribed to my YouTube channel and retweet this video link when I post it onto Twitter. Now, of course, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. If you didn't like it, still leave me a thumbs up because I put hours of work into this. If you're dressing up for Halloween this year, in the comments down below, let me know what you're going as. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next one.